Hello everyone, welcome to Cloud Patashala's Linux Fundamentals video series. In this video series, we are discussing basic Linux commands. This is part 9 of the video series, and in this video, we would be discussing commands like man, echo, zip, unzip, and host name. If you have not watched any of the previous videos, we strongly recommend you to watch the entire series. The information for this would be in the iCard on the top. I strongly recommend you to follow the entire lectures so that you get a holistic picture of what Linux commands constitute of. The first command that we are going to discuss in this video is man. The man command provides a user's manual for any command or utilities you can run in the terminal, including the name, description, and options. This consists of 9 sections exactly. First is executable program or shell commands. The second is system calls. The third being library calls. The fourth being games. The fifth being files, special files. Sixth being file formats and conventions. Number 7 is system administration commands. Number 8 is kernel routines, and number 9 is miscellaneous. To display the complete manual, all you have to do is say man and the name of the command for which you would like to see the manual. Let's look at the example of this. I'll say man ls and you would get the exact details of the entire man command over here. So this is the first part of it. This is the name. It gives us a synopsis, then gives us a detailed description of all the flags that are possible in the ls command. After a detailed description of all the flags and the options that are available, we would then go look at the author and then reporting bugs, copyrights, and then we also get other informations like this. If you have to come out of this terminal, you have to type in q and you would be out of the terminal. Similarly, what we can also do is maybe do a man for the tar command, and here you would see that we have a detailed description of all the possible entries that you would get. There's a lot of documentation that you could follow through and get the details. Now if for any reason you find it difficult to read the man on the Linux terminal, what you could always do is open your browser and click on man tar, and you would get the exact details that you saw on the Linux terminal on the browser window. So this is one way in which you could do a copy paste or a control F, or even you could tag the resources. So this would be a very useful command if you are looking for options to play around with. The next command that we would be looking into is echo. The echo command is a built-in utility that displays a line of text or string using the standard output. Here's the basic syntax. It's very simple. You just have to say echo. We have some options, but then you have to provide the string. Now the string that we provide inside the double inverted commas would actually be displayed as an output. So for example, if we have to display something like hosting a tutorial, so we would give an echo and that would come out as it is. The option that we would be using is -n that displays the output without trailing new line. -e enables the interpretation of the following backslashes escapes. -a plays an alert sound. /b removes spaces in between the text. -c produces no further output, and uppercase E displays the default options and disables the interpretation of the backslash escapes. Let's look at the examples. I could say echo cloud Patashala, and this would be exactly what is displayed. The next command that we would be looking into is zip and unzip. Use the zip command to compress your file into a zip file, a universal format that is commonly used on Linux as well as Windows. It can automatically choose the best compression ratio. The zip command is also useful for achieving files, archiving files and directories, and reducing the disk usage on the system. All you have to do is say zip and then give a list of all the files that you would like to zip and compress into one single file. So this is something like, for example, if you have a file name note.txt and you want to compress that into archive.zip, all you have to do is provide zip, the new file name or the zip file, that is archive.zip, and then you give the actual file that has to be zipped, that is note.txt. Let's look an example for this. So I'm currently in the current working directory, and you would see that I do have few stuff over here. So what I will say is zip backup.zip, and I would give as texting.txt and texting underscore update.txt in the system. Now you would see that this is actually complaining that the zip utility is not available on my system. So what I'll be doing is would be installing zip on my system using the apt package controller. I would say yes, and this should now download the package on my system. I'll run the same command, so that is zip blah 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 dot blah blah blah, and this would give me the backup file called as backup.zip. So basically, let's try to move this backup.zip into the temp folder, and once I move this into the temp folder, let's go into the temp folder, that is /tmp, and then let's try to see if by unzipping the file and see how it works. Now to unzip a file, what we have to do is just say unzip and the name of the file, and this would actually extract all the files. So I'll say unzip backup.zip, and you would see that I now have both the backup file as well as the texting.txt and texting underscore update.txt files in my file system. Now both zip and unzip is hugely used when we have to ship files and folders from one system to another system. So this is heavily used along with the tar command. So both tar and zip and unzip are heavily used in order to move files from one file system or one server to the other server. The next command that we are looking into is hostname. So we run the hostname command to know the system's hostname. You can execute it with or without any options, and the general syntax follows as hostname, and you will get the output. If you want to use any flags, the possible flags that we have is -a. It will display the alias of the hostname. -uppercase A would display the full FQDN of the server, and -I would display the IP address of the server along with it. Let's look at an example. I'll clear the screen. So just hostname would actually display the name of the server or the hostname, that is ubuntu-vm-1, whereas hostname-I would display the IP address of the server. As we know, this is actually giving us the IP address or the loopback IP address of the server, that is 127.0.1.1. We hope you liked the video and that it is adding more value. If you want to see more such these, please encourage us by hitting the like button and sharing the video to reach more people. Thank you so much for watching. Keep having a good time.